you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing great. Just enjoying the beautiful weather, and I heard you on the radio for the first time, and it sounds like a great show, so I thought I'd give it a shot.
Nice.
On the Bob Dylan question.
The Bob Dylan. All right. Fill us in. What's Bob Dylan's New Orleans connection?
Okay, I think, if I'm correct, I want to say that he recorded the album Oh Mercy, and I'm not sure if it was recorded actually in New Orleans, like proper, but I want to say it was with the producer, Daniel Langlois. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but I'm pretty certain that that was recorded here.
I think you're pretty correct. I think you're right. I thought you were going to say he lived on Montague Street and worked on a fishing boat down in Delacroix.
Right. Right. That would have been good.
Yeah. No, I think you're right on the money, Lisa. I think he also owned a house on Audubon Street in Uptown.
Right. For a very brief time. Yeah.
And I think
that would be perfect for him.
And
that would have been perfect.
I think it backed into like Walmsley or one of those streets. I forget. I think it like went through the entire block, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway.
Right. Like it has a private entrance. Yeah.
Yep.
Which would be about right up his alley.
Yeah. Bob Dylan has a love for New Orleans. There's no doubt about it.
He really does. And I adore him as well, and went to see him last year actually at the Singer. And it was very interesting. Like the man doesn't even say like hello or anything. You just like it's bizarre, but you just love him regardless.
Yeah, he's not the most affable type of person. I guess I saw that was it Ed Bradley Bob Dylan interview on 60 Minutes like 20 years ago before Ed Bradley passed away. Just he's just very humble. He's very laid back. He's very calm. He's not into BS or nonsense. No, there's no doubt. He knows who he is.
Right. Yeah. And you should check out the new movie, the one that is out about his early life. It was really cool.
Yeah, no, I'd like to check that out. I haven't seen it yet. That's a good call. Hey, Lisa, hang on. All right.
All right. Thank you.
You are correct.
Yeah, you're right. Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
Bob Dylan answer. Lisa's picking up 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. Warren picking up 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. Maybe you too. Corey Johnson with the 5 o'clock powwow. Yeah, Snake River Farms is a purveyor out of Idaho, I believe, that has some super prime beef that is ridiculously expensive. And maybe about once a quarter, literally, I might go grab, a Snake River Farm steak and have to put a second mortgage out on my house to do it. But yeah, not available. Zaccardo's had it. Langenstein's had it. Snake River Farms, it's disappeared, Blue Boy. This is how excited Blue Boy is. Blue Boy's going to get a little piece of that Snake River Farm super prime beef even. A little bite, buddy. That little bite was $8. Coming right back.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Ford F-150, number one seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Oh, yeah. Here we go. 5 o'clock power hour on a Tuesday afternoon. Corey Johnson with you. Thanks so much for joining us. Fired up for tomorrow's show, Wide Open Wednesday. Another edition of Hillier and Hennigan, right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. Make some sense of what's going on nationally, internationally, and also right here. Quinn is a Times-Picayune columnist, editorial writer, opinion op-ed guy now. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon. A glorious weather day. Get outside. We still got 2+ hours of daylight left till what, around 7:20, 7:30? And you don't have to worry about overcast and haze. And, it's dark by 6:30, Corey. It's so, threat of rain, so cloudy. You can't find a cloud. If you can find a cloud out there, call me, 766-9480. You tell me where a cloud is located in Metro New Orleans, and I'll give you a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Just deep blue sky, nice breeze blowing, 69, 70 degrees, just absolutely glorious weather. And it continues like into the middle of next week for like the next week, 10 days. No rain on the forecast, 60s and 70s, sunny every day, including this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Glorious weather for French Quarter Fest 2025. Yeah, you right. As nice as it gets outside right now. As nice as it gets. Get outside and enjoy it. And get to French Quarter Fest this week, Thursday through Sunday. Where? You guessed it, the French Quarter. Hence the name. 766-9480 is the phone number. 766-9480. 1 week from today, the legislative session gets underway in Baton Rouge. Are you hopeful? 766-9480. A woman arrested in Kenner stalking another woman, both romantically involved with Pelicans forward, often injured, Zion Williamson, the number 1 draft pick last decade, 2019. The Pels selected Zion Williamson. Isn't that hard to believe? If you ask me, I'd be like 2022, 2019. 6 years with the Pels. He missed 52 of 82 games this season. He missed 52 of 82. That's sort of business as usual with Zion Williamson. Jeff Landry, governor, state of Louisiana, another big victory. Another big one, another big announcement. Ascension Parish again. First, Hyundai, the steel mill, $6 billion. Now, a Japanese company, $4 billion, the world's largest low-carbon ammonia plant. Jeff Landry's talking about $50 billion in new economic investment in the state of Louisiana. That Meta thing up in the poorest parishes east of Monroe, that's like $10 billion. There's another one, AI, by Alexandria, that's like $4 or $5 billion. So what's that, 15? Here's another 10 with the $6 billion steel mill and the $4 billion ammonia plant. I mean, he's halfway home or more. Crazy. Throw in, hell, Plaquemine, the LNG facility, $22 billion. The addition, they haven't even opened the thing yet, and they're adding on an $18 billion addition. No, Jeff Landry's right. Closing in on $50 billion. Hasn't been in office a year yet. Doing something right. Doing something right, or just being the, recipient of just great timing. I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see that. Yeah, congratulations to Jeff Landry getting things done in Baton Rouge. Speaking of Baton Rouge and New Orleans, 55 years in New Orleans, a couple of years now in Baton Rouge. When it's time to paint, you don't go to the big box store. You don't go to some national chain. You go to the local guys that do paint, and all they do is paint. Benjamin Moore Paint, highest quality paint available. New Orleans, 7 Helm Paint and Decorating locations. Baton Rouge, 4 Helm Paint and Decorating locations. Free 2-hour delivery so you can keep working. Best color match. Paint is what they do. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating. Corey Johnson with you. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. This is kind of just political nonsense. Trump signs an executive order to revitalize the coal industry. Donald Trump might as well sign an executive order to revitalize black and white tube televisions and the milkman and rotary dial phones. This is, I don't know. I think this is what sucks about politics. Because little one-liners sizzle. That's why the Republicans are winning. They throw out little one-liners that sizzle. And the liberals, the Democrats, want to explain everything to you. And no one wants anything explained to them, especially adults. But I happen to do a talk radio, talk television program. And when natural gas is cheaper, easier to produce, greener, all of that than coal, coal's more expensive, it pollutes, it's a no-brainer. It's yesteryear technology. It's a black and white television. We're not going back. Coal will never be revitalized. West Virginia's not going to have a coal renaissance. It's yesteryear's technology. We're down to like 15% of all our power plants are coal generated. Like a couple of decades ago, it was like 50%. We just don't use it anymore because it's not economically sound. If it was, we'd use it. We'd use it still. But natural gas is cheaper, much more effective, much more bang for the buck, cleaner, easier to deal with, on and on and on. Coal's dead for a reason because that's where it is. You know, that's where it is. No, this is just, you know, revitalizing the coal industry, signing executive order. It's all nonsense. There's no revitalizing it. It's like revitalizing black and white televisions or the rotary dial phone. They're never coming back. 766-9480. 766-9480. I've talked about this a lot on the program. A total redo, a redevelopment, reimagining Bourbon Street. Because it's a gutter, it's a toilet. There's a reason us locals never go down to Bourbon Street ever unless you go into like Galatoire's or Felix's or Acme or Bourbon House or something like that. And that's like in the first block. Big ass beer, daiquiri shop, trinket store selling crap, strip joints, drugs, prostitution. And no one goes to Bourbon Street for a reason. It sucks. And the city's not even getting the bang for the buck out of it. So much cash business on Bourbon Street, so little in tax revenue. You know, Jimmy and Sally pull up in their truck. They walk into the quarter. They get a couple of daiquiris. They walk up and down the street for a few hours. Jimmy spent $23. Sally spent $18. That's the investment. It's just not worth it. It's the wrong demographic economically. It's a cheap, crappy street, and it sucks. It should be lit up. Police presence, jazz clubs, restaurants, music out on the street, lit up, nice. And then the side streets connecting to Royal. Royal shuts down at 6 at night, puts fencing over windows and doors because they don't want drunks breaking the windows. They should be selling antiques at 10, 11, midnight. Those streets should complement each other. Bourbon Street should be high-end, great restaurants, jazz clubs. That's some gutter, some crap. It's garbage. Again, there's a reason we locals don't go to Bourbon Street. It sucks. So, no, it needs to be reimagined. There's no doubt about it. What they're talking about right now, post-terrorist attack, is making it a pedestrian mall. Bourbon Street from Canal to Dumaine. That's like more than halfway to Esplanade. The side streets you could traverse, but each individual block would be blocked off. It's a neighborhood first. It's a neighborhood street, a neighborhood French Quarter first. I don't know how someone that owns a house on Bourbon in the middle of the block with a driveway, they can't get to their house, got to walk a few blocks with groceries. Some of these things need to be worked out. I mean, pedestrian mall a lot of the time, sure, but access for people that live on the street, deliveries and the like, things of that nature. 766-9480. What do you think? 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you.
TMJC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance, keep you cool. TMJC.com, your cool spots.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Signage failure. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. Tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Quinn Hillier, Ellis Hennigan tomorrow. Right-leaning Quinn, left-leaning Ellis. Maybe we'll get some, useful information on all these tariffs and crazy things going on around the world, locally, nationally, internationally, the whole deal. That's tomorrow, 4 o'clock hour, around 4:20. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. You can find out about those guys if you've never heard them on the program. They've been on about 20 times. They're diametrically opposed, but they're reasonable, they're smart, commonsensical, and they don't raise their voice. They communicate with each other. I just kind of sit back and prop my feet up on the desk, put my hands behind my back, and let them go. But if you go to Quinn Hillier, Quinn with one N, Hillier spelled Hillyer, QuinnHillier.com, or Hennican.com, Henican, Hennican.com. You can get a little preview of what these cats are all about. Absolutely incredible weather day. Not trying to keep repeating the same thing, but it's blue skies. It's 70 degrees, 69 degrees. It's awesome outside. Glorious weather day. Get outside. This weather, kind of rinse and repeat for like the next week or 10 days through this weekend. That means Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This weekend's French Quarter Fest. Some, yeah, you right weather. A week from today, next Tuesday, the Louisiana legislative session begins in Baton Rouge. I never have high expectations. Maybe something positive will happen. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully. Bourbon Street, they want to make it a pedestrian mall, a pedestrian zone. What do you say? 766-9480. I think, having that study done, vitally important post-terrorist attack. But just the general, a general study done on Bourbon Street and how it is presently today needs to be done. It's a gutter. It's a toilet. There's a reason us locals don't go down there. It sucks. Make it to where we'd want to go. Make it bring in more high-end tourists that spend more money. 766-9480. New Orleans has enough stuff for people like, you and me, average folks, financially, middle class and lower. We got enough. Upper middle class, rich, wealthy, we need more of that stuff. And those folks generate lots of tax revenue that we benefit from. So, no, I'm for everybody from poor to wealthy having access to stuff. And Bourbon Street's a gutter, a toilet. I would rather Bourbon Street go from I could go there every night if I wanted and spend $5 on a beer or a daiquiri and walk up and down the street. Could do that 365 days a year. I'd rather be able to go once a quarter, 3 or 4 times a year, because it's expensive and it's really plush and luxurious and nice. And it's a big cash generator for the city instead of being a gutter, a toilet. 766-9480. What do you think? 766-9480. Miss Peaches, they're falling by the wayside. Famous people that have connections to New Orleans. If you have an answer to one of the remaining famous people or person that has a connection to New Orleans, I'll give you 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. 5 area locations, the premier day spa. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Patricia Clarkson, how is she connected to New Orleans? We got that answer. An actor, born on the West Bank. Her mom was Jackie, the old council person. Bob Dylan. Great answer about Bob Dylan. Album recorded here, lived on Audubon Street, I believe. Val Kilmer, Bacchus, 2011. John Goodman married a girl from Southeast Louisiana. Came here as a college kid, fell in love with it. Nicolas Cage, Warren, letting us know if they got the prime steaks at the grocery. Went to the butcher for me last hour. He's calling from the grocery store. Nicolas Cage, haunted house, castle-like house, has a tomb at St. Louis Cemetery, wants to be buried here. Brad Pitt, Make It Wrong Foundation. Those crappy houses that he built in the 9th Ward. What a nightmare. And he also owned a French Quarter house with Angelina Jolie. Jerry Garcia is still out there of the Grateful Dead. What's his connection to the city? And Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister. What's her connection to the city? So still a few of those out there. 766-9480. Give me the answer. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. 766-9480. Maybe this will be a holdover question, Miss Peaches, especially with Jazz Fest coming up. I maybe should have held this question out for later this month, but I'm throwing it out anyway. What was the significance of the 1979 Jazz Fest? What was the significance of the 1979 Jazz Fest? Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister. What's her connection to New Orleans? Jerry Garcia. What's his connection? What was his connection to New Orleans? 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Young's Dry Cleaning since 1940, literally a New Orleans institution. 4th generation, family owned and operated. They're simply the best. Tired of your dry cleaner? Want to experience the best? YoungsDryCleaning.com. YoungsDryCleaning.com. Jeff Landry, another big announcement, another big victory, another major plant going to Ascension Parish, about 50 miles north of New Orleans, about 20, 30 miles south of BR. First, the Hyundai Steel Mill, $6 billion, over 1,000 jobs. Now, a Japanese-based company, a $4 billion, the world's largest carbon ammonia plant, both in Ascension Parish. That's $10 billion right there. You can say Jeff Landry just walked in all this and John Bell Edwards had it all set up. I would think that's not true at all. I would think Jeff Landry, like him or not, and there's a lot of things to dislike about him, like him or not, he's making waves, he's making moves when it comes to economic investment in the state of Louisiana. I like this $50 billion goal. It's obnoxiously large, and it looks like he's getting there. Got to give the guy credit. Sadly, I wanted to get him on the program. And no, just someone in his office, kind of thin-skinned, giving me the typical political runaround. These people suck, you know? They kiss everybody's ass, then their person gets elected to office, and then they go into this isolationism protection mode. And they just very, very careful on who they allow to interview their person. In this case, it's Governor Jeff Landry. Now, if it's some softball right-wing show with an audience or not, Jeff Landry's there. And the host is sticking his head up Jeff Landry's rear end. It's no different from, I mentioned the local black AM station when they get the mayor on or the sheriff. It's embarrassing. Like, no, honor or pride or respect for the job, the microphone and the camera, and just sell out and embarrass themselves. No, the governor goes on a lot of these shows where the hosts sell out, insert head up governor's rear end. It's embarrassing. It's pathetic. I'm not out to get the governor. I'm not out to attack Jeff Landry for clicks, for audience. Been doing this long enough. Don't need to do that crap. And I'm not out to kiss his rear end either. I'm not lubing up my head and inserting it up his butt, you know? I just wanted to get Jeff Landry on the program. Saw him at the Chop House back in August. He promised to come on the show. 3-4 months later, I didn't get belligerent. I just was talking to his press secretary, like, what's the deal? Send her an email. This has just been going on for 4 months. Are we ever going to do it? He's been on like 3 other local programs 2 or 3 times in the same time period. We're going to do it. And she got all ticked off about it, Then we had it lined up. And then canceled like an hour before he was coming on. And then I posted on social media the email from, hey, we had to cancel. I wasn't saying like blaming them or saying they screwed me. I'm just saying like I've been hyping that the governor's coming on the show, and I want to make sure my audience knows I'm not some BS artist and didn't have anything lined up and was just hyping that for nothing. And now can't even get a peep out of the media person. And literally I'm going to have to see Jeff Landry again in public, go reintroduce myself. And he knew who I was before, and say, I've talked to your people. I'm getting nowhere. How do I get you on my show? And he'll probably say, we're going to do it. And then the process is going to start all over again. And I'd say it's a 50-50 chance I'll get the governor on. Just pathetic. I can't stand that. I'll never forget Bobby Jindal. Bobby Jindal used to just kiss his people, would call me, and especially Eric Asher, like once a week. And Eric would always have him on. And then Eric said one thing that wasn't even like negative, just sort of neutral when he became governor, and they cut Eric off and me and never had Jindal on ever again. Just thin-skinned, pathetic, and weak. Really is. I'm governor. I'm governor of the state of Louisiana. I can handle any media member anytime. Anytime. I've got nothing to hide. Let's go. No one's intimidating me. That's why in this program, you want to know how we screen calls? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hang on. We don't ask questions, so try to steer you in one direction. I can handle it, and I'm not scared to say I don't know. Really sad. I'd like to talk to the governor because this is good stuff he's getting done. Coming right back.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King. Hey, New Orleans, if you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks for joining us. 766-9480. What was significant about the 1979 Jazz Fest? You got the answer to that? I got 50 big bucks for you. 766-9480. Famous people with connections to New Orleans. We had about 10 of them or so. We're down to just 2. Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister. What's her connection to New Orleans? 766-9480. What was Jerry Garcia's connection to New Orleans? 766-9480. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Tomorrow, Hillier and Henneken. That's going to be good. Gorgeous weather right now. Get outside and enjoy it. Sorry to keep saying the same thing, but deep blue skies, little breeze, 68, 69 degrees. It's perfect. It's as good as it gets. It's utopia, brah. It's Xanadu. It's really nice. It's San Diego weather. Today through like next Thursday, like next week, 60s and 70s and sunny. That means right smack dab in the middle of all that, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, French Quarter Fest 2025, 70s every day, 60s and 70s every day, and sunny. It's going to be a record-breaking French Quarter Fest. Fantastic. A woman was arrested stalking another woman, both romantically involved with Pelicans forward Zion Williamson, the number 1 draft pick from the 2019 draft. Isn't that amazing? 6 years ago, Zion Williamson. You think he's played for the Pelicans like 2 or 3 years tops. But when you miss 52 of 82 games like this year, 52 of 82 he missed. Played in just 30 of 82. Yeah, it's going to seem like 2 or 3 years. That's what he's got, about 2 and 3 years of, tread burned on the tire. 766-9480. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you. They're recommending Bourbon Street become a pedestrian zone, a pedestrian mall. From Canal Street all the way through Dumaine. That's like more than halfway to Esplanade. Now, that second part from like Dumaine, Esplanade, much more residential, much less commercial. There's no doubt the first 6-8 blocks are, more commercial than residential. But there are people that live on Bourbon in that area. There are people that own their house and it has a driveway, off-street parking. Where are they supposed to park in a lot and walk 6 blocks to their house? So pedestrian mall for those first 6-8 blocks, I think that's fine. But residents and businesses have to have access to that street, have to be able to pull in where they're in the middle of that pedestrian mall area. It's a neighborhood first, Bourbon Street and the French Quarter. It's tourists and retail and all of that secondary. You got to work hand in hand with each other, but you can't cut the residents off. Could you imagine owning some multi-million-dollar piece of property? Maybe you had the money and bought it. Maybe it was handed down to you. And it's got off-street parking and you can't access it. Hell, you can't get dropped off in front of your own house by an Uber or a taxi. That's insane. 766-9480. Hey, speaking of your own house or business, if you need new gutters, Audubon Gutters, seriously, why would you even consider going with anyone else for your home or business, but New Orleans' own Audubon Gutters. They've been at it nearly 35 years, since the early 90s. They're the Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company, and all they do is gutters. You need roof work or painting or siding or window help, Audubon Gutters can't help you. But if you need gutters installed on your home or business, audubongutters.com. Do like I did. Gutters featuring the Leaf Guard system. Never, ever have to clean my gutters again. audubongutters.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. What was significant about the 1979 Jazz Fest? 766-9480. A couple of famous folks, their connection to New Orleans. We already got answers for Patricia Clarkson, Bob Dylan, Val Kilmer, John Goodman, Nicolas Cage, Brad Pitt. What about Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister? What's her connection to New Orleans? How about Jerry Garcia? What's his connection to New Orleans? Give me the answer. I've got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. 3 different questions. Beyonce's sister, Jerry Garcia, and what was significant about the 1979 Jazz Fest? You got the answer to any one of those 3 questions. I've got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Good at any of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spas. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Miss Peach is fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. $411 million. A Louisiana jury awards a man injured, a oil worker injured in Lake Charles. A pipe fell on his head, causing permanent brain damage. He's aware. He knows who he is. He's back. But like at 80 or 90%, he doesn't remember as well. He headaches, and worse, maybe worse. I would say definitely worse. From chest down, paralyzed. He got $109 million for future care. $411 million total. $411 million. Now, I think tort reform and how we payments to injured people. This guy deserves tens of millions of dollars. He's got cognitive brain damage for the rest of his life. And from like the chest down, he's paralyzed. He deserves all medical care taken care of. He deserves multiple millions, tens of millions for future loss of enjoyment of life. But $411 million? Seriously, $411 million? I'm not trying to. This guy did nothing wrong. The opposite. He deserves tens of millions of dollars. He, his family, his kids, future generations, they all deserve to be compensated by this tragic accident. But $411 million, I mean, almost $500 million to one individual? Seems crazy. I mean, if he would have died, would it be $750 million, $1 billion? The scary part of the $411 million settlement, or I shouldn't say settlement, award from a jury in Louisiana, the attorneys are going to pull like $100 million plus of that. $100 million plus. Tort reform, all of this needs to happen. We are a litigious state, and it's obnoxious. The Morris Barts, these television, attorneys, so-and-so got me a check. I mean, none of these attorneys, not one of these television attorneys, not a single one, you can honestly say you look at them and go, man, that guy's special. They're special. They're hyper intelligent, really smart, first in their class. I got a legitimate lawsuit. That's who I want representing me. It's the opposite. It's a bunch of dopes. It's no one special. Painfully average people that are basically saying, if I don't do it, someone else will. They were trying to pass legislation like no lawyers advertising on billboards. The billboard companies and the lawyers squashed it. Look at the billboards around Metro New Orleans. I mean, what is it? A good third, maybe 40% are lawyers advertising on the billboards. It's so bad, they'll have one pole. A billboard company will have one pole with 2 billboards on that pole. And both billboards are competing lawyers. How would you like to own a business? Corey's Italian. And I got my billboard paid for, and on the same pole underneath Corey's Italian is Frankie's Italian Cafe, like my competitor. But you'll see that all the time. 2 television attorneys on the same billboard pole, both paying for their billboard, competing against each other on the same pole. I'd be calling the billboard company and go, guys, I ain't paying you this money to have me and a competitor on the same damn pole. You know what they're going to say? We have too many lawyers and so much business. It's the only way we can do it. That's how crazy it is, where it's billboards, both on the same pole, both competing attorneys. It's obnoxious, and it costs all of us money. Morris Bart doesn't live on Audubon Place in a multi-million-dollar house. Morris Bart brags $1 billion in settlements. He didn't do that because he's a great attorney. He did it because he advertises, and his law firm is a bunch of insurance company facilitators. They don't go to court. They never go to trial. Morris Bart wouldn't know what the courtroom looks like. Neither would any of these TV attorneys. They're insurance company facilitators. And all they do is take a few pennies every day from you and me, a few dollars every day from you and me. They're rich. They're living high on their hog. Their clients get a little bit of money, a one-time pop. Could be life-changing. Here's the kicker. A lot of the clients, some of them are legit. Some of them are outright lying, and some of them are just exaggerating and embellishing. So it's a lot of money coming out of our pockets going to a few people, these attorneys and these injured folks, question mark?
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian. Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LaBarre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Oh, yeah. Come back in like about 6 blocks past the DMV. Yeah, on the riverside. The riverside of West Metairie. Yep. Yeah, I used to go to the Come Back In, a lot of Saints players, because Saints camp was on David Drive. That's how I know it's there. That's how I know it's there. Yep. The old Come Back In. Some buddies of mine are in South Carolina, Miss Peaches, playing golf. They're a little older than me. And they picked up, they like scotch and whiskey. They got the Blue Label Johnny Walker, which they got it for a great deal. It's $230 for the 5th. It can be like $400. And then they'll really screw you around with like the box it comes in. Like you probably want to keep the box, but you're like, okay, what would I pay for this box? $10? Why is it $140 more than the one that doesn't come in the box? I know it's special edition and all that. Anyway, I text him during the break, bust up the blue, the 200, which, they know already. I was just like, now, guys, I would imagine y'all drink that to start and then get off of. They're like, exactly. We go to like Dewar's, the 7-year-old that's, half gallon for $30. But they start with no ice, just a little glass, about maybe a half inch of that Johnny Walker Blue that's $230. It's probably, at that price, $10 a shot. I think he told me at any kind of restaurant or bar, it's going to be around $50 to $70 a shot if you get that. So the restaurant's pulling like $1,000 on that $230 bottle, when it's all said and done. And they're measuring it out. It ain't some, hey, generous pour, hey, that generous pour is $80. Anyway, bust up the blue. They're on the Johnny Walker Blue. These guys, they'll call me like at 10 tonight on a, speakerphone call. And sometimes I can't answer. It's like, they're going to be just hammered. I'm dead sober. Yeah, they busted up the blue. And then they did the 7-year-old and they just, drunk. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, Johnny Walker Blue, $230 a bottle. No, I was like, good job. He went and picked up like a bunch of wine and liquor for the trip. They're there for like a week. Yep. And he's like, I went overboard and got this. I was like, excellent call. The blue. 766-9480. Still about 3, 4, 5 minutes to jump in the ball game. Pick up $50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. 766-9480. Significance of the 1979 Jazz Fest. Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister, What's her connection to New Orleans? Jerry Garcia, what was his connection to New Orleans? 766-9480. You got answers? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Boy, Miss Peaches, with weather like this, 69 degrees, outdoor dining. You want some New Orleans style food? Katie's in Mid-City. You want some Middle Eastern food? Lebanon's Cafe. Both have sidewalk outdoor dining, and tonight's the night to do it. Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. Iberville, Corner Telemachus. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette. Shish kebab, lamb chops. The key, outdoor dining at Katie's tonight for dinner. Outdoor dining, Lebanon's Cafe tonight for dinner. Yummy. Can't go wrong with either one. Outdoor dining. You know, I mentioned this before. The pre-coronavirus crisis, you know, pre-2019, like 5-6 years ago, we had maybe a couple of dozen restaurants in the whole metro that had outdoor dining. Very, very few. I mean, if you take like the French Quarter Courtyard places out, it might be a dozen. Maybe a dozen. And then I think about like Manhattan, New York, where it's 50 degrees and, you know, misty and cold and nasty, and the restaurants have outdoor dining and they're serving outside in that. New Orleans has fantastic weather compared to Manhattan, and not a lot of places had outdoor dining. A silver lining from coronavirus crisis, folks started doing the outdoor dining. Restaurants have outdoor dining, and a lot of these high-end restaurants that never did to-go orders do to-go orders, some even curbside delivery. So that's fantastic. Outdoor dining, so key in New Orleans. I mean, something that we should have been doing a long, long time ago. And it took a crisis for us to realize it when we're such a great weather city, like right now. And by the way, light until about 7:30, and the days are just getting longer till mid-June. Get outside and enjoy this glorious weather. I don't know how else to say it. It's Chamber of Commerce weather. It's San Diego outside. It's blue skies. It's 68 degrees. It's perfect. It's perfect weather. Get outside and enjoy it. Here's the kicker. It's going to keep doing this thing for about a week and a half, this 60s and 70s gimmick. We might hit low 80s a few days out of the next 10, but mostly 60s and 70s. And every single day at French Quarter Fest, this Thursday through Sunday, all 4 days, 70s, mid-70s for the high, and sunny, no chance of rain, all 4 days. Hopefully a record-breaking French Quarter Fest. Hey, every day we're on radio, on television, on YouTube. Every day this program, 4 to 6 weekdays, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner and Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway, your commercial truck, van, SUV dealer. Every day this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Corey Johnson with you. Wide open Wednesday mañana. We'll be back straight up 4 o'clock. We got a good one lined up for you tomorrow. I mean, Trump, tariff, international stuff, national stuff. Got two of the best guys on to discuss it. Another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. That's tomorrow. What's that, Blue Boy? Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, a staunch conservative. Left-leaning Ellis Hennigan, a lifelong liberal. They're diametrically opposed. You're right, buddy. Big word, diametrically. Good job, Blue Boy. Diametrically opposed. But they're reasonable. Common sense. They don't yell. They just discuss. That's tomorrow. I'll see you then. Have a great night. Be here, 4 o'clock.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.